remember hearing that the head of the CIA had made a statement about the movie. And that was a pretty intense moment. It wasn't, he's obviously has a very important job, and he wasn't totally expecting that. But look, I think there's a lot of that in that statement that actually falls in line with the movie. I mean, the movie to me portrays a lot of different techniques over the years, and obviously interrogations were, and some of the brutal methods that occurred are just part of the story. And I think Catherine was really pretty gutsy to put on the screen what she did put on the screen. Obviously, this is controversial terrain. It's clearly something, the value of these programs, and you have to see it in an audience, so forth, is clearly something that is part of a big debate, conversation, let's say. And I think that conversation existed before the film. So the fact that she was willing to tackle that and not shy away from that part of the history, I'm very proud of the fact that she did that. And I think she did a great job of capturing some of the essence of the issues involved, and obviously talking about a 10-year manhunt that has hundreds, if not thousands, of people involved, and many, as he said, many different streams of intelligence leading finally to this giant puzzle that begins on 9/11 and ends in Baghdad. But I think she did a great job putting all that together. And as far as why he wrote that and whatever external pressures he may be under, the way he communicates with the workforce, that's a little bit above my pay grade. But it was
But one of the things, Mark, is that it's based on actual events. I have known Mark and Catherine for quite a while, and certainly when you were writing the other screenplay before bin Laden was killed. So I know Mark is a first-rate investigative reporter, but I don't know how Mark got his information. I know I was certainly frustrated that I wasn't getting the same kinds of information at the time. But just talk about how you approached this, Mark, the kinds of people you talked to, how you decided to fictionalize what parts and others, and the whole process of making a film based on actual events.
Well, I mean, there's sort of two stages. There's the research phase where you go out, and it's probably very similar to what anybody else would do in that situation. I mean, there weren't a lot of books. Unfortunately, I didn't have access to there weren't a lot of books that had been written yet, and so there was a lot of reporting that was coming out as I was researching the material, and so sort of by necessity I had to try to gather up what I could, and as I think it's been fairly well documented in a number of different forms, I certainly worked through official channels where I could, but I also did some independent reporting as well, and but at the end of the day, that's research, and then the research is over here in the pile, and I had to write a screenplay and make a movie, which is not really the same kind of enterprise as a magazine or a thriller book. And in order to tell the story, you have to do the kinds of things that screenwriters do. You have to dramatize. You have to take things and split them together. And hopefully, the goal is to capture the essence of the underlying reality, which, by the way, is even what the underlying reality is in some cases. Is contested by people that have access to a lot more information than I do. But let's bring that aside. You're making something that is hopefully a dramatic work and stands on its own as a movie-going experience, but that also hopefully stands the test of time. Maybe not this news cycle, but hopefully stands the test of time as the years go on. That people will look back on it and say, that really did capture something about the war on terror, the issues this country